Hello my friends, my name is Irvin, also known as Koboman. In today's video I will talk about app data. So what is the app data, what does it do, and what's inside of it? So let's go ahead and find app data folder and see what we can find out and learn about it, right? This is an awesome thing to know, especially if you're in desktop support, help desk, or some kind of system administration. By the way, if you haven't watched my video on local profiles, I highly encourage you to watch that first, and I will go ahead and post a link right up here as a pop-up. So before you actually watch this video, because this kind of goes into the local profile part of it, and you need to know about local profiles before you actually start learning about this. Okay, so let's get to it. Now in root-c, if you go to our root-c, we will find our users folder, and then we're going to find our local profile. In this case, we're going to play around with buco local profile. Once you go inside of it, we need to find our app data folder. By the way, app data is always inside of the local profile. However, sometimes it's hidden. So if you go in here and if the hidden is unchecked, the app data folder will not show up. However, if you type in app data after your local profile name, you will get inside of app data folder. And again, I'm going to go back here, and I like to show hidden items because I am an IT professional, just like you guys. And now we can see that app data is there. So let's go inside of it. Inside of app data, we have 3 different folders. And all these 3 different folders contain configuration settings. And let me tell you what the difference is. The first local folder, if we go inside of it, you can see there are a bunch of different folders for a bunch of different applications or software, if you will. And that's exactly it. Local folder for the app data contains configuration settings for all of these programs that you see. So any of these will have configuration settings for these specified applications, right? So if we go inside of, for example, let's go to inside of Microsoft, we can see that there are a bunch of different things that are specific to the Microsoft products that would have configuration settings inside of it. So let's go ahead and go inside of Office. You can see there are a bunch of different configuration files. And this is why it's important to know about app data. Every time you deal with configuration files or configuration issues for any of applications that you're dealing with, this is where you would find the settings. So for example, let's say you're installing, let's say at your work, you're working desktop support, and you're working on, let's say, some kind of a, I don't know, phone software that requires you to configure it automatically, or I'm sorry, manually. Then you would go inside of this folder. Well, chances are you would go inside of this folder and look for those settings. This is also one way to reset settings. So let's say you want to, reset settings for, let's say, Google. You can simply go in here and just, rename this entire folder or delete it, and that would reset Google settings, local Google settings. So let me go back real quick. Local pertains to only local files that are stored on your computer, hence the name local. Local low does the same thing. However, this is used by applications who have restrictions, right? For example, let's say a program is only allowed to write to certain folders and does not have access to the regular local folder. It would go inside of local low and create a folder inside of it. Because local low has less restrictions, this is what would happen. Either way, both of these folders are going to be local only for this computer. So this local profile for this buco will only save these settings locally. So if you go to another computer, it will not follow you. This is where our roaming folder comes in. So if you see the one that says roaming, that means this is something that is roaming if you move to another computer. So this only works in a domain type of environment, meaning that you have an account through Active Directory that you use to log into a computer at work. So you have your roaming profile, and then anything that's inside of this will carry over to another computer. So this is the point of the roaming, and then it saves it inside of it. So let's say I am using the main login for this, let's say, and then I log into another computer. The inside of app data, whatever's here in roaming, will also carry over to another computer. All in all, app data folder contains configuration settings for all the applications, whether they're local low, or roaming. Nutshell, if an application cannot write to local, it would write to local low and install the settings there. And then if it's something that needs to follow you, it will be inside of it roaming profile, right? As simple as that. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Check out my other videos on stuff like this. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Leave a like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about me, and I wish you best of luck. Bye-bye.